Hello, it's Rachel back with the Shades of Orange. Today I'm here to review Atlas Alone by Emma Newman. I requested a copy from the publisher for review. Before I get started, I do want to mention that this is going to be a spoiler-free video, meaning that I'm not only going to keep it spoiler-free for Atlas Alone, but I'm actually going to talk about the synopsis in a way that is going to avoid spoiling the previous books in the series, because this is actually book 4 in the Planetfall series, and at this point in the series, I do recommend you do have to read them in order not to be spoiled for the previous books. However, I'm going to keep it vague here, so even if you haven't started the Planetfall series but are just interested in it, you can keep watching without any worry. That being said, the Planetfall series is set in our future. In the first book, there is a woman known as a Pathfinder who has a vision and takes a group of people from Earth on a ship that she has built, and they go to another planet to colonize it. In book 2, After Atlas, that is about the people that are left on Earth. And in the third book, it is set on Mars and follows a colony there. And this fourth book is set after the events or the aftermath of what happens at the end of After Atlas, and actually follows two of the same main characters, Carlos and his friend Deanna. So this latest book follows Deanna as the protagonist. She has a career working in the game industry and gets a mysterious invitation to try out a new game. These are called Immersive, which are basically their version of a virtual reality game, and it's very mysterious because she doesn't know who created it, and it kind of breaks the rules surrounding these games. But she tries it out, and in the game she kills a person, and then in real life on the ship that she is on, there is a murder of someone who looks very similar to the person that she killed in the game, and she begins to wonder if there is more going on. At the same time, she is basically seeking revenge. She is heavily depressed because of the aftermath of what happened in the previous books. At the end of After Atlas, there were some events that very much influenced this book, and so she is seeking revenge on the people responsible for that incident, and it really becomes this revenge plot. And I will say that I really like Emma Newman's writing. I think she is a very strong writer and is very well known for having strong character development. However, I'd say of the characters she's had in her previous books, they were much stronger than Deanna. I found her a little bit flat, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I find revenge plots to be very one-sided, and it just was a little bit simple for me. I never really felt like I knew Deanna, which was unfortunate. I still very much like the technology introduced in this volume because you got to see a lot of virtual personal assistants and a lot of extrapolation of current technology in very realistic ways, which is something she always does in her books. So while I didn't think the characters were as strong, I still think that she is a strong character writer, so it's still better than most writers, but just not up to her usual standards. This book most reminded me of After Atlas, which largely affected my reading experience because of the 3 books, After Atlas was actually my least favorite of the 3. I much prefer Planetfall or Before Mars. So if you are someone who enjoys After Atlas, because I know there are a lot of readers who actually consider that their favorite, I highly recommend reading this one. I think you will enjoy it quite a bit as well. So I would say to kind of gauge your reading taste based off of that book, book 2, and go from there. Regardless, even if After Atlas was also not your favorite, I still encourage you to read Atlas Alone because it's still worth reading. I did enjoy it, and I'm very much interested to see where the series goes from there. I don't know how many more books are going to be in this series, but I'm very much along for the ride. I think that there's a lot of good potential where the story left off. I think Emma Newman is very good at writing punchy endings, and I'm very curious to see what's up next. So those are my quick thoughts on Atlas Alone. While I didn't completely love it, I do still recommend it, and as well recommend the entire series. So if you have read it, please let me know your thoughts down below, how you think it compares to the previous books. And if you haven't read the Planetfall series, I highly recommend it, but go back to book 1, go back to Planetfall and read through them. They are a loosely based series, so the books each follow a different character, a different perspective. But at this point in the series, you can't jump into book 4. You really should start back at the beginning because book 4 will absolutely spoil the events in the prior books, which are fantastic enough that you really do want to experience them for yourself. So that is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.